Ladies, gentlemen, and disappointments, we are coming to you live from the Woman Caves in New York and Connecticut. My name is Leslie.
And my name is Melissa.
And we are Verbally Disastrous. Welcome back to Part B on the joys of no children. If for some reason you missed Part A on the same topic, the joys of no children, head back in and listen to the beginning of the discussion. This is the second half where I interview Juana and Vanessa about their choice to not have children. Now we pick up the second half of the discussion where I speak on the possibilities of a child having a disability. Take a listen. The one thing that nobody even spoke about, Vanessa, you were saying your sister has the disability. Did you think of the child having a disability and then it being longer than the 18 years, 21 years? You had a kid that requires care.
I see things a little bit
differently.
That's a huge factor. That's a huge factor to have, the chance of having a child with, a disability. Even, nowadays, the rate of autism is through the roof. It's a lifetime commitment. Okay?
Right.
You're not out at 18. The individual is born with Down syndrome. You're going to be living with you, and then, a lot of parents get elderly, and then you have to put them in some sort of, a situation where they can live through, a supported lifestyle, which is kind of what my sister is. So, I see that a lot too. It was very hard on my family. It was very difficult. My mother didn't have a life. The old school ways, she was kind of blamed for the way my sister was born. She related to you. She kind of, relied on alcohol as a way to self-medicate throughout the years. My father stuck around, of course, because it's just, I got those genetics where you kind of like, you dig in, it's yours, and you got to take care of it. Debbie is 47, she's 65, so she's still taking it along, and my parents are both dead, and my grandparents are dead, and there's nobody left in my family, so it's just me and her.
Yeah.
So, huge thing, and, when I hear people, I kind of look at people when they say, I want a boy or I want a girl or things like that, and I say, what do you want?
It's something.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, healthy.
Damn right.
Normal, yeah. Normal and healthy.
That's one thing when you have kids. No matter how old they are and how old you are, you'll always worry that they're okay. If they're going out or away, you're always at worry.
Yeah.
Same thing with having, a disabled child, like you were saying. Yeah. I've known people just from working in the hospital who've had disabled children. They're older, and they come there and they can't, take care of these children anymore. They're older, and they have to find a group home or someone to do it. Then you have to be old and worry about your child being in a group home, when you die. You have to have all that set up and arranged.
Yeah, that's
It's a
stressful.
heavy load. That makes me worry right now because you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, someone could have an accident later on in life, and then you got to worry about that.
Yeah, and then you have people are just cruel. People are fucked up. But yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
That'll make you think about not having children. Yeah.
Juana.
Go ahead. One of I'm the third youngest, my mom's family. One of my older sisters, her daughter has Down syndrome. She's 18, but her mind, I'm going to say she's like 3 years old or 4. So, when my sister had her, that's one of those things at that time I had just gotten married. So that's one of those things that crossed my mind. I'm sorry?
She couldn't hear you. Vanessa couldn't hear you.
Okay, so I was saying that one of my older sisters, her daughter has Down syndrome. And my sister's much older than me, so at that time when my sister gave birth, I had just gotten married. And my husband at the time wanted to have children. And that's another thing that also pushed me away from having children. Because I was like, I could think one night on life, this is a child when I have.
Yeah.
What if I'm not around and she's 18 years old and not able to fend for herself. Like I couldn't get myself to bring someone into the world and have the chance that of her having that kind of life.
Yeah, it's a heavy thought.
Yeah.
It is. And it's scary. Like, I absolutely adore babies, but it's in my nature. Like, when I see it, like, in the back of my mind, I'm always worried about what if.
The worst case.
Everything.
Now, do you think, I know Vanessa's answer on that, if you had a really good, solid man, married to, lived with, and you could become a housewife and not have to worry about anything because the man had means, would that have swayed you to have a child? No?
No. I couldn't be a housewife. That's just, it's not in my nature. Like, I don't care if a guy's making $1 million a day.
I would have been bored. I would be bored.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, like, I was out of the civilian for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do myself, even though I couldn't even walk. It's just not me.
Totally, yeah. So all of us are motivated to do our own thing. That's like the common thing about all of us, or we're all motivated to want to be captains of our own ship. The thought of... Now, here's a term. I'm trying to remember where it was. I was listening to like a YouTube guy talking about the term submissive. What do you think of that when you hear that term? Is it like nails on a chalkboard, or is it like another antiquated term that people use that women are supposed to be submissive?
That is, I guess, mental issues. That's what that means. He's not looking for a human partner. He's looking for a slave.
Agreed.
Yes.
That's what, whenever I hear it, it's like you can't have your own voice, your own thoughts, your own fears. That was actually Melissa and I, we were talking at one of our last podcast episodes, we were talking about relationships and stuff like that. I had asked her what she thought of the term submissive. Right, Melissa?
Yeah.
She had to step out with the dog. We were talking about how when the term submissive, it feels like the guy's looking for a robot. He's not looking for a partner. You know, the whole submissive word.
Yeah, he's looking for someone that he's going to tell him what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And I am allergic to all of that, so no.
Yeah, I never got into a relationship with a guy who knew what he was going to tell me. I can't do this, or I can't hang out. It never happened. I don't, nobody's really like that. I mean, when I was younger and I dated and you had a boyfriend, we were all in the same group. Those were the good old days, because you all hung out anyway. So it was like, you were all together all the time. And as I got older, I don't remember anyone telling me I couldn't do A, B, C, or D.
No, I kind of felt in one relationship that I felt like it was trying to do that and was upset. Everybody has to have an opinion on it. You got to come halfway in it. I remember him telling me, "You're too stubborn, and that's your problem." And I'm thinking, well, maybe we need to come in the middle on this. You know, if I'm leaning too hard on that side, there's reason, right?
I agree. Someone once told me, like, oh, but I thought you were going to change. I'm like, wait, so you want to be with me because of a person that you know you could take me into? That's not going to work for me.
I don't think that works for anybody. I mean, you are who you are. You either accept it or get the fuck out. I mean,
thank you.
I mean, we're older now. We're not going to tolerate that. If you didn't tolerate it, now you see it coming quicker, and it's got to accept for you who you are.
Very true. If either one of you could offer a piece of advice to, say, a young lady out there, say she's a young person and hasn't made officially that choice to not have children, what would be your piece of advice to that person to encourage them? Vanessa, what do you think? Like, from your experience, you're going to have some experience to pull from to offer somebody a piece of advice. Like, I couldn't offer a young woman a piece of advice because I had kids and I wouldn't be able to tell somebody about not. You have the experience. What advice would you give to a young woman saying she's deciding not to have children?
Make sure you educate yourself. Make sure you become self-sufficient, 100% self-sufficient. Not just just monetarily wise, but to be able to at least be able to take care of whatever might come up in your life, to be able to problem solve, have that forethought of how to solve a situation without running to somebody else all the time. Definitely is what I would tell a young female. That's what I find the majority of girls, or I'm going to say it, girls are weak, man. They're weak. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to make something of themselves as an individual. They don't want to have their own identity. They're very quick to adopt the identity of, I'm a mom and I have kids, and that's like a scapegoat for everything and anything that comes up in their life. And that's one that annoys the shit out of me. And I mean, no disrespect to you guys, because I know Leslie, you worked your ass off to get to. I know you, and I don't mean that in any way whatsoever.
No.
But there are others out there, that use that as a scapegoat. So that would be like my 2 cents to tell a young female is get your shit together and become self-sufficient. 100%.
Agreed. How about you, Juana?
I absolutely agree with Vanessa. I mean, I will tell her to educate herself. Don't make decisions based on whatever influence you have around you. Do your research. Sometimes you see things, let's say you see a woman with her children, and that woman at that day is having the most amazing time of her life. That is not her entire life. So you can't make a decision based on what you just saw that specific day. So I will tell them to be informed. To another point that Vanessa brought up, to have your own identity. I see a lot of young women, they're dating a guy, and they sort of become a clone of whatever that guy likes, that's what they're gonna go with. No, you are your own person. You have your own DNA. You have your own brain. Use it. Think about what's best for you. Think about your future. Think about what you see your parents, your friends going through. Think about this is what I want for my life. So that you can have all the information you can have before you make an informed decision.
Now, would either one of you think that the young women coming up today are more selfish, kind of like what Vanessa touched on about them just wanting to use the motherhood thing as a cop-out? You think there's more of them that are that way, or is it less? I kind of think that the women are not made of the same material that they were 20 years ago, right?
The only thing I point on this, and I definitely agree with Vanessa, but I think nowadays with the high rate of divorce, like I work in healthcare, so I'm in the hospital. All the girls there that are single or divorced and have children, they're all self-sufficient. We make good money, we can work overtime, we need something, you work an overtime shift, boom, boom, you go. So they're making it. But there are girls who have that trouble, maybe because they had the children first and they're stuck in that zone. I was stuck in that zone, but I wasn't stuck in that zone. I got off my ass, went back to school, worked nights so my mother could sleep with my son, and I did that, and I finished my way, and then you make it. You do what you have to do. There are people that don't do that. From what could I see now that I'm older? When I was younger, it was probably a lot different. A lot of the women that I work with do have children and are divorced, and they're doing it. But it's a different field.
Yeah, you're in a really good field. The medical field. If I was to, I looked at it, I considered it, quite a few years ago that if I was to get out of this business, that would be something I would pursue.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're always in need, and you guys get paid very well.
Yep.
And you can go
anywhere. I traveled. I was all over California, Arizona. I loved it. So, yeah, it's a sweet deal. I made a good choice on that one. I had no idea what I was going to do. But it worked. It worked good for having kids because you had 3 different shifts to work from. So I worked at 11 at night to 7 in the morning, and I still took care of the kid and did what I had to do. It worked out good.
And being that you're able to travel to different places, that's another thing I think that affects people is they get stuck in their own hometown or whatever it is they're, accustomed to. And, nobody wants to break out and meet different people from different places to give you different perspectives on how they made it through life or what they're doing. And sometimes that opens your eyes a little bit as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like everybody, however you were raised, it kind of stepped straight into it. Got married young, had kids, did whatever. And there's a few of us, I guess, that broke out. But I definitely agree with that. As you get older, you want to do that. You want to see different things, different cultures, and go.
It's an eye opener. I would imagine, like, say, Juana, were you born here or born in the Dominican Republic?
I was born there. I came here when I was 17.
I would imagine you see things differently than a person saying I was born here.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's the thing. Like, usually my family tells me, like, the older ones, like, oh, like when I speak to my nieces and nephews, I speak to them in English, not Spanish. They're like, oh, you're so Americanized. But that's my thing. Like, I have friends from, like, every country that you can imagine that speak different languages. And that's the thing. You gotta get, you gotta submerge yourself in different cultures and see different perspectives and all those sort of things. If you get stuck, this is where I grew up, this is what I know, you will continue to make exactly the same mistakes that those people made. Or even if they're not mistaken, you want to basically follow whatever those people did.
Right.
Instead of opening your eyes to everything that's out there that you don't know.
Doing your own thing, blazing your own trail, finding what works for you and not the cookie cutter thing that you grew up with, thinking that that's going to be end all be all.
Exactly.
But I think that's what most people do. They kind of follow suit, maybe not meaning it purposely, but that's what they get into.
Yeah, the rut, because that's what they know. I mean,
The rut.
yeah, I would say it's the rut. I grew up out west. You think of the way everybody does things, like in the town that I grew up in. I used to say, when I was a kid, I was going to go live in New York City in Manhattan with Madonna. And my dad used to tell me that I was going to do that, because I guess when I think about it, what do I say? The round peg with the square hole, you kind of feel that way. You're like, I got to get the hell out of here. Like Vanessa, she was always in New York for a long time, and when you're out there, you feel much more adjusted to it, right?
You mean at the Vegas one?
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah, even when I was in New York, I didn't want to stay there. I knew at some point in time I wanted to go someplace else. And not just to, the fact that New York was already pushing you out or whatever, but given that I got the opportunity to come out here, it's, it was a good thing. And it kind of, being growing up in the New York area, Juana said, there's a lot of culture, a lot of different ethnicities and all that. But I never met people of the United States. That's true. Oh my God. People in the United States will give you a whole different perspective of the United States because they're from all over from here. They're from, Midwest, cow country places, people that grew up, with rich families, and everybody's a little bit different from, deep south. I've worked with people from the deep south, from, the heart of Texas, and everybody's a little bit different, and it's amazing. It's taught me a little bit of tolerance too, but there's so many different people that make up these wonderful United States.
Yeah, it's a ton of people. Definitely, a South person from deep in the South is different than a person from New England or the Midwest, the West Coast. A little different vibe than the East Coast. It's beautiful that you get to experience all of that. Most definitely.
It's different. I work with guys that are from, Alabama that have, that deep drawl. I work with people from Maine who have the Maine accent, New Hampshire, like I said, the Texas. It's just, and everybody's different, and it's cool, it really is, to be able to see how different states grow up. They have different perspectives.
Oh, absolutely. I was working with a guy in, a high school or elementary school. His name was Kelton Sutton, and he was from North Carolina. I couldn't believe we were working on a Saturday doing a wire pull, and I was an apprentice almost topping out around that time. The dude asked me to go check out the kitchen washing machine. He had his drawers in there. He was washing his stuff on a Saturday. That's stuff that we wouldn't think to do. He was in there washing because he was like, well, I'm working overtime, so I might as well kill two birds with one stone. So I'm out in the hallway with his drawers. I'm like, are these the ones you want me to put in the dryer? Kelton Sutton had this Volkswagen Rabbit diesel with like 300,000 miles on it. The man spent no money. He wore his wife's postal uniform. He cut him out into shorts, and it had, I swear to God, he had his first name and his last name on patches on his shirt. It was like he wore a uniform. I learned a lot from him.
And that's the South.
Yeah.
God bless him. God bless him. Melissa, do you have any questions?
No.
I think I kind of ran through. Do you guys have any pieces that we didn't poke you with?
No. How many people do you actually run in on a daily basis that you meet that don't have kids, never married, or anything along those lines? You see a lot of that?
Fisherman.
Well, fishermen, yeah, we know fishermen. Juana, I met through work. I feel like everybody I turn around has kids.
I've been divorced for so long, and I was married. I think I dated him longer than I was married.
Now, when I'm thinking about it, I've dated quite a few guys that didn't have kids. That wasn't their goal.
No,
I think there's more guys. Wouldn't you think that there was more guys that chose to have kids versus women?
Well, at what age did you date these dudes that didn't have kids?
I remember I was in my 20s. I dated a dude that didn't have kids. I remember between 2013 and now, I remember dating a couple people that didn't want to have kids. One guy had a nice house in New Rochelle, and he had no ambition of it.
I think once I hit 30, from 30 dating, or relationships or whatever, till now, I think they all had children.
Yeah, one would
They
think.
all had kids.
For whatever reason, there was a couple. I don't know if it's because they're the people that are like serial daters on.
Yeah, like
Online.
I said, I was 22 when I had him, so I remember dating back then. I mean, I was blown off plenty of times because I had a kid and they didn't want to date somebody with a kid.
Yeah.
Now it's funny, you run into them later on, they're divorced with 3 kids, paying
Small
child
kids.
support, and you're like,
See
whatever.
ya.
Karma's a bitch.
Not interested. I guess when you think about it, I'm not interested in a dude with small kids at this age. Even there's a lot of guys in their 40s with kids.
I would have no problem with it because to me, kids are innocent. They don't ask to be here. You had them, this and that. But now, after being through a couple people dating and all, I'm kind of done with it. Now I want what I want. If I'm going to date somebody, I don't want small kids. I want to be able to do things, enjoy, because I'm over it. I did it. So
you guys end up dating guys with? Well, Vanessa's in a relationship with somebody with a kid, right?
Yeah, she's 23. She's all the way on her own.
yeah.
Juana, do you date guys that have kids?
I have, yeah. I mean, if she was like a, kid that's like 40 years old, at that kind of thing, I don't think I could do it, honestly. Because, like I said, the way I see it is like, all my time is for me. I don't feel like at this age, I want to be the back burner. Like, I want to go out to do this, and then he can't go because he has a child that's young.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
I don't want to. I have nothing against the child.
No, it's nothing with the kid.
As I said, the child is innocent, but I just don't want to put myself in that situation where I'm making plans. I want to go away, and then at the end of the day, I go, well, listen.
That's the weekend he has the kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's
Like Jack and all like what Juana's saying is you're third in that whole relationship.
Right.
First you got kid, you got the ex-wife.
Yes.
So you're third, and you're the last that's gonna even be considered.
Yep.
Yep.
It's not worth the hassle. It's like,
That's like the person you deal with, and they have a kid, and you're like, okay, no big deal. But then you got to deal with the drama that comes with the woman, and then she finds out you're dating the dude, and all kinds of nonsense, and the little kid's regurgitating to you like some poison that came from his mom. And I was just like, wait, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm just, spending time with your dad.
Or you got the ex-wife that sits there and says, well, she's gonna be around my kid, I gotta meet her. What am I doing? Because someone's parents when my 12 years old. I agree.
Vanessa, prior when you were dating, did you run into guys who had kids? And did they ended quickly?
Yes, not very quickly. It was just like, okay, if they said that they did, it's just like, what's the age? Because if they're 18 and older, that's good. If they're anything younger than that, still 12 living at home. Because they're much closer to them too,
Because they're what?
Their money and stuff like that. It's not just their time and everything else, it's their money.
Yeah, their hands ends up being tied with little kids. That feels like a lot of 40-year-old guys, like 40, mid-40s. They have small kids. Oh, no, I don't want to go through that again. don't really want to.
That's the thing, like, at least the way I look at it, it's almost like, okay, I decided not to have children, but now it's like, I think I had them in a way because the fact that this person that I'm dating will have, you know, a small child, that's also going to prevent me from doing the things that I want to do.
Agreed. Yeah, that'd be the monkey wrench,
Right.
being able to travel. How old were you when you traveled to Europe?
I did a couple of times in my late 20s, early 30s.
Did you plan ahead of time, say like a year ahead of time, and put the money aside?
No. I think I decided like on a Wednesday, and I left by like a bit of a on your own.
Yeah, I like that now. My youngest is in high school. My other son's 27. Doesn't ask me for money. Thank goodness.
When I took off to California and I traveled, you know, all over Southern California, it was nice. I was just like, you know something?
This is
quitting my
nice.
job and fucking out.
Yeah, I'm out.
I sold everything. A fork, everything I had in that house. I was like a gypsy and I loved it. A duffel bag and a dog and a rifle. That was it, and I was out. Drove cross country. I did it a couple times. And I was like, fuck it.
It was nice once you get past that stage with the small kid piece. It's exhausting, especially working with the tools all day, like hot, cold, or whatever the hell. Then going home, having to fuck with dinner, make sure people do their homework, and everything's clean. You wash your ass before you go to sleep, and all that stuff. I'm actually kind of glad, because I used to feel like, damn, I used a whole shitload of time every day. And you get your time, at 9 o'clock at night?
Before you fall asleep.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot of extra time now. I love it.
It's like you have little jobs. You know, you have your regular job, then your kids, and then you have 5 minutes for yourself.
Yes. Yep, that's what it felt like for a long time. And if you were sick, you still had to deal with people.
But, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing.
No.
You know, you're a mom and you want to be a mom, that's great. Or if you're a mom and you're doing it, it's just part of being a mom.
Yeah, it's all there.
Once you get older and you can live your life, it's great.
Yeah, that's the beauty right there. Most definitely. What's that, Vanessa? I didn't hear you, Vanessa.
How old were you when you had Johnny?
29. Just before I turned 30. I would say that I probably had a whole hell of a lot more energy with Tom when I was 19, running around and doing all of that. Once I hit 29 and 30, you could definitely feel like there was that energy zap. Once Tom hit about 10, he became a lot easier to deal with. He always wanted a sibling. Those two are, even though they're 10 years apart, they're thick as thieves. But I look back and I know that they were a whole hell of a lot of work, but I don't regret it because they are cool dudes.
I don't regret it.
No, they're cool dudes. I've always wondered, like, what would it have been like had we not went down that road? I'll never know. Obviously, things are meant to be. They're meant to be. Most definitely. Do you ladies have any final thoughts on the subject?
No, I'm just really happy and excited that we did this. This was absolutely awesome.
I'm happy that you're all able to connect and introduce you to some awesome, like-minded ladies and have a cool chat. We've actually burned through an hour, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
The easiest hour, right?
I know, yes.
Well, I'm going to sign off on the podcast. I'm going to wish the viewers a good day. If you want to check out more content, head over to the website at www.constructiontales.com. Wish you guys a good evening, right, Melissa?
Yes, it's nice meeting you both. Be safe.
This wraps up Part B on the joys of no children. If for some reason you missed Part A, head back in and take a listen at the beginning of the discussion. Much thanks to my special guests, Vanessa and Juana, for carving out time so that we could have a moment to discuss the topic at hand. If you have any questions and you would like to look at further content, head over to my website at www.constructiontales.com. I thank you. This wraps up another episode on the Verbally Disastrous podcast that can be found on Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. For more information, head over to www.constructiontales.com. Thank you for listening, and have a great one.